don't miss
Hawkeye #1.
Matt Fraction, David Osha,
New ongoing series.
August 2012.
#Hawkeye.
Marvel. Welcome, dear listener, to our podcast. Jeff and Rick present Unpacking the Power of Power Pack,
where we journey through each issue of comics that include a member of the most underrated Marvel series from the 80s while drinking beer.
analyzing awesome and amazing adjacent adolescent adventures and absorbing alcohol.
I am Jeff.
And I'm Rick.
A random banter is a large natural or artificial lake used as a source of water supply. Random banter time! Buddy, talk to me, tell me tall tales and tantalizing tidbits of trivia. Today.
According to my Rickster's dictionary, that would be a reservoir.
Ah, correct. But why would I pick a reservoir?
Because you're French.
Oui.
We talk about a reservoir.
Yeah.
The potential theft of a reservoir, I believe. But we are going to get to that in a moment. I have been trying to play a little bit of catch up as daughter and I went on a trip right kind of in the middle of a bunch of things. Like there's the Olympics, there was a trip that we did. We did Shampooey, which is the camping trip that you and I have done with our friends in the past. And I was able to make a couple of days to it, which is neat. Wasn't able to do more than that. But
I had planned to, and then it fell all apart because we spent some time with a friend of ours who has been hard on cancer. So there was an option of being able to actually spend some time with him and his family. So we took that instead of going over.
Well, between all that kind of stuff that was happening for me, I did not get an opportunity to get out and see like the Marvel Comics movie of this summer until recently.
Oh, I'm dodging so many spoilers that are just pouring from the heavens on this.
That's the reason why I finally said, I'm going to go out late tonight and I'm going to watch this movie without you guys. I don't care. But I went and saw Deadpool and Wolverine, and it was enjoyable. I put it right there with the other Deadpool movies. Probably the first Deadpool movie is still going to remain in my heart as great because it was so darn funny and was so unexpected.
Yep.
It was really enjoyable. There are parts of this movie that I really enjoyed, and parts of this movie that I was like, what are we doing? But for me, a longtime comic book fan who can just accept it for what it is, is it a good movie? No. Is it high art? No. Is it enjoyable candy? Yeah. That's all it is. And it touches those parts of my comic book fandom that I like. It gives me that dopamine burst. It's like, oh, I know what that's from. That's great. I know what that's from. That's great. That's something I wanted to see on the screen. Fantastic. Is it a cohesive story? Not really. Does it need to be? No. Have you read a Deadpool comic?
Yeah, it does not need to be very cohesive. It can just be what it is.
It's what it is. There are people out there that are expecting way too much out of this, and I think that we just kind of need to accept things for what they are. This is just a stupid movie, and it's fun. And that's all I care about. There's some other podcasters I've listened to that just poo-poo that film and a lot of the Deadpool stuff and a lot of other things out there. And I'm kind of like, you know what? There are times you can just have fun with it. Yeah. It's not that bad. It's enjoyable. It's stupid. It's fun. And it does the nice things. There are things that show up in that film that it's like, I get it. I see what you're doing there. Thank you for recognizing that. Thank you for pulling that back. Thank you for showing me that up on a big screen. If you throw a bunch of those darts on the board, it's not going to make sense. But it still can be fun. And that's what it needs to be.
There are plenty of times with entertainment media where you just need to go, you know what? It's taking me on a ride. I'm enjoying that ride. That's great. And yeah, if it can do some stuff that you can get a lot of joy out of, then that's pretty amazing.
I always like to point out, We Hate Movies. It's a podcast I like.
Oh, they're great.
They're coming to Portland. They are coming to Portland November 17th. I've already got some tickets to go see that, so I'm going to go with one of my friends. I need to talk to you probably and see if you want to go too.
I might have to check that out.
Here's what I would know about you, though, Jeff. Hey, Jeff, do you want to go see this thing? Let me look into it. No.
Dude, I am so strapped all the time. It is ridiculous. I want to do things. I miss doing stuff.
Do things, then.
That's the problem. I am doing things, desperately trying to get done with them to be able to do other things that are fun.
I don't know. I mentioned to my wife. Anyway, They are coming to town. I like seeing them. I like listening to them. They rag on movies all the time. They talk about movies they love. They talk about movies they watch, they hate. But they always say the same thing. It's okay to like a movie. It's okay to like this movie. And even if they're making fun of it, I know that in their hearts they're like, you know what? If you like this movie, that's great. Enjoy the movie. There are other people I hear talk about movies and things like, no, you can't like this movie because we think it's horrible.
And some movies that are horrible are the best thing in the world to watch.
Yep. So, anyways, that's my little soapbox. I will get off it now. Jeff, tell me what things that you have not been able to do.
I'll tell you things I have been able to do. Been sneaking them in. Got conned up on season 4 of The Boys. I talked about that last time. And when I finished it up, I said, what do I want to do now? And I said, wait a minute. I've got Gen V waiting in the wings. The little spin-off series that deals with The Boys. Okay, I'll check into that. So, a little late to the party on that one. It's kind of, I think, happened... That's like a third season, end of third season Boys kind of situation. But yeah, so I watched that, enjoyed it, thought it was great. There were some cameos from characters that popped in on that. Enjoyable, it's good story stuff. Made some choices at the end where I'm like, yeah, this is a very Vought thing to do, but I don't understand why they've done it. I kind of want to see the next season to see what's going on, where they pick up from this. So I don't know if they're going to follow up with it or not, but it was good. It was worth watching. Interesting characters, kind of neat.
Cool. I'm glad. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad that is tickling your funny bone. I'm glad that you're getting enjoyment out of that. I'm glad it's not kicking dirt in your face or running you over with a rhino.
It is not running me over with a rhino, and it's not riding a zebra into the dirt.
Those are all good things that we will explain in just a short bit. But first, you need to give us a 2 cents replay of why we are here and what we are covering.
T'Challa brought Reed down to the secret and hidden necropolis of Wakanda, where the kings and Black Panthers are laid to rest after they have died, so that T'Challa can beg the goddess Bast for his old job back. Meanwhile, Sue and Storm pretend that they are cool, that they can still party, so they accept the young Queen Shuri's offer to take drugs and then fight Anubis, god of the dead. Now that the T'Challa became king of the dead and gets his Black Panther powers turbocharged while the ladies ate some king-size Snickers and chilled out looking at some blacklight posters. 2 sentence replay is over. Why don't you give me a beer and tell us what our power pack pick is?
Well, Jeff, like I mentioned, I bought this beer a long time ago, and it's been sitting in my fridge for this issue. No reason except that I saw it. I said, ooh, I know we're going to be covering an issue dealing with this in the future, so I bought it. And then I realized, wow, I bought it really like a year or two
way
too much.
Too soon. So that's okay.
May affect it. But anyways, check out and see what we got.
Let's find out. We have ourselves Mac and Jack's African Amber, which is an amber ale and is a black can with a lovely golden lion head on it. That is a beautiful looking lion. It is an African Amber Ale, and story time on it is brewed and packed at Mac and Jack's Brewing Company in Redmond, Washington. Hey, I've been there. I think I know why, because one of the characters' names might be Amber. No! Because Bentley wanted to see a lion. No! Because African.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is an African safari kind of story, and I knew we'd be covering it, and I saw this beer, and I was like, yeah, great. This is so simple. This is why I want every beer that I buy to match up with the story. But
yeah, it just ties right in.
Yeah.
That is an amber. What a lovely color that pours. Boy, I gave it a terrible, terrible head on that.
African Amber by Mac and Jack's Brewing. This beer erupts with floral hoppy taste, followed by a well-rounded malty middle, finishing with nicely organic hop flavor. Wow, we may or may not like this. Locally sourced 2-row grain and a blend of specialty malts give our amber its rich taste. Further complexity is achieved by leaving the beer unfiltered, providing exceptional flavor, as well as giving our amber its unique cloudy look. Lastly, we dry hop with locally grown Yakima Valley hops, creating what has become the original cult classic Northwestern Amber Ale 5.8 ABV Mac and Jack. It is a Northwest favorite. That is a cloudy red.
It's an amber. It is a dark amber. That is a very dark amber. It is a very minor cloud to it. It's a very small amount of haze. I've seen much cloudier, much hazier. It does have a hint of it. It is a mild fog across the moors.
I'm smelling malt.
Yeah, it's got a very mild nose on it.
Yeah, it's very mild malt.
Very mild malt. Not a lot after that. Taste-wise...
You know what? I kind of like this.
Okay. It kind of grips the teeth. Kind of makes my teeth feel like they're pulling into each other. Just a bit. I'm going to try that again.
A little bit. I can kind of get that. What I'm getting on this is something we kind of talked about our last beer a little bit, but I think even more pronounced here. This is freshly cut grain.
Okay, I could see that. I've got kind of I'm trying to decide if it's got like an old partial lemon flavor going to it. It's not really lemony, but when I had that kind of like citrus kind of grip on the teeth that I was talking about.
I keep getting that freshly cut grain.
Yeah, not grass, but grain.
Grain. It's in the air while I'm drinking it. Mm-hmm. And it's not unpleasant at all.
No.
It's like I'm standing in a field drinking this.
Yeah, both the beers we've covered tonight have been very, not even working in a garden, but working in the fields. It's very field work, very wheat cutting, chaffing.
But this is smooth. This is very smooth. Very smooth up front. Very nice, mild in the middle. There's nearly not a taste in here, which is good.
Yeah, it's very mild. It is a bubbly beer. It is a burpy beer.
Yeah, but it's pleasant. Mm-hmm. It's smooth.
It drinks easy.
Drinks very easy. This is nice. I like this.
I've been working outside all day today, so this is a pleasant beer to kind of finish my night off with.
Yeah, this is good. I was really worried about the hoppy taste, but I'm not getting the hoppy taste. I'm more getting the malt and the barley, the wheat. I'm getting those kinds of flavors.
Very much. Even less on the malts and more on the barleys.
Yeah, I'd agree.
This is a farming beer.
Yeah.
This is agricultural, agrarian society drinking their beverage of choice. It is what they work. It is the grain.
This is nice. This is nice, nice. All right, let's go on and get into our opening credits and find out about this book. Jeff, hit me.
FF, issue number 19, August 2012, Safari. Credits. Writer, Jonathan Hickman. Penciler, Gabriel Hernandez-Walta. Inker, Gabriel Hernandez-Walta. Colorist, Chris Peter. Letterer, Clayton Cowles. Editor, Tom Brevoort.
Featuring Valeria Richards, Franklin Richards, Dragon Man, Woo, Vil, Mick, Core, Turg, Tong, Leech, Artie, Bentley, Alex, and introducing Onami.
In Wakanda, the big Wakanda, the hornbill sits tonight. Weeheeheehee,
rumble, rumble.
Until the giant rhino crashes through this peaceful scene.
Man, people always raining on my parade.
Speaking of which, let's look at this parade of animals destroying this wonderful jungle area. Now, normally I'd critique what jungle creatures would do.
Oh, yes, you would, you freak.
Yes, we've established that. It's fine. But I have a problem when a couple of rhinos, a couple of zebras, and an elephant are being ridden by a cadre of copious cranium-capacitated kids.
The Future Foundation have gotten their wish to ride wild animals through a lush forest with a local Wakandian kid named Onami as their guide.
Oh, Dragon Man is also riding another zebra. A zebra that is wishing for its death.
As Bentley prattles on about wanting to find a lion, Onami points out a nearby water source to refresh their mounts, the Wakandian Reservoir.
This magnificent waterfall is amazing, and it's sort of natural, too. Apparently, this entire water feature was natural, but was moved to this point because it was an intersection of 4 nations.
As Val is considering the benefits of creating a need-based environment to force/develop cooperation of her future subjects, Bentley kicks her into the water.
This is funny to the majority of the FF because while they may be smart, they are still kids who have to laugh at the bully or they'll get picked on next.
The kids all jump into the refreshing water, basking in the freedom of no adults or guardians to tell them what to do.
Hey Rick, Dragon Man is there playing the role of an adult and is trying to remind these kids to wear sunscreen, or otherwise their skin is going to resemble his.
Like I said, no one to tell them what to do.
Or not be listened to in any case. But anyway, what's Alex doing?
He is bouncing up the waterfall with his G-powers, enjoying the view and getting away from Bentley, because you always want to get away from that kid.
This is a truth. But the view that Alex discovers is absolutely incredible. He can see multiple waterfalls, wonderful trees, a dead body, clear water, breathtaking views.
Hey, let's get back to that corpse real quick.
Man, I can't get anything by you. I was hoping the views would distract you. The group is called together and start to assess the scene. Onami, their guide, identifies an object in the deceased's hand that scares her.
Not like there being a dead body here to freak you out already.
She's scared because the object is a totem for the clan that is synonymous with scavenging and thievery.
My kind of people. Okay, maybe not exactly.
Yeah, when was the last time you roamed the continent, killing people and taking whatever you wanted, Rick?
On advice of my legal counsel, I'm no longer able to provide that information.
Needless to say, these hyena dudes are bad news. And when they kill someone, they like to set traps under the body. No sense letting an opportunity for needless violence go to waste.
All this info is coming from Onome, and everyone seems to be listening to her except for... Bentley. Boy Wonders decides to poke the body with a stick.
Boom!
Bad news. Bentley is still alive. Good news. The FF uniforms have been designed to easily wash out blood, guts, brains, and whatever else came off this body that was in front of them that just exploded.
Franklin and Bentley took the majority of the gore. One of the pieces left over was a thing that was being held by the former body. Only now it is transmitting some kind of signal, like a homing beacon.
And sure enough, an energy portal appears.
Hang on. We are in the middle of a jungle and an energy portal appears?
Yes, and it scares the walking fish people, a group of moloids, and an android dragon. What part of this picture is confusing you?
Point taken. Weird is normal. Continue.
Fwash!
The hyena tribe arrives. Aardwolf, their leader, quickly gives out orders, including a demand to get a cup of water from the waterfalls before he steals them.
Okay. Evil dude. Evil water stealing plan. Well played, Mr. Bond's villain from Quantum of Solace. Well played.
Okay, let's really get into this. The tribe has brought amplifiers to really rock out this plan.
I think the amplifiers are to extend the range of the teleportation technology they want to use to teleport the water.
No. I believe that they want to rock so hard at the water that it wants to follow them like Grateful Dead fans.
Let's agree to disagree and move on. Waterboy has returned with the water, which Aardwolf drinks and then says...
That is some high-quality H2O.
No, he asks the Waterboy, aka Spearhand, aka Lead Guard, if he has fallen and hit his head. He says this because there's an issue with security and protection, namely the giant freaking dragon hiding behind the freaking tree.
Both Dragon Man and I want to know if the screaming was really necessary.
The hyena tribe starts to throw spears and shoot energy blasts at the android dragons, who just takes the damage, cause pacifists gotta pass.
Yeah, the Moloids find that the continuing path of peace that the Dragon Man has chosen to be perplexing. Who would just sit back and let violence happen to an innocent without doing something about it? They say, while they sit back and let violence happen to an innocent.
Alex is not one of those people. And with a simple gesture, he switches off gravity for most of the tribe, who stop shooting so they can hold on to their lunches.
Val and Onome grab the amplifiers and rearrange them around the tribe, not the water. Val also sends Bentley to do what Bentley does best.
What? Steal stuff and kick men in the plums?
You know what? Yeah, pretty much yeah. He takes the controller from the tribe leader,
who is now singing soprano,
and tosses it over to the girls. Val initially catches it and wants to send the tribe back to where they came from, but Onome snatches it from the youngest Richard child's hand and quickly reprograms the device. Not only the location they teleport will go to, but the size, weight, and calorie content of the things being transported.
There was a lot of maths occurring there in not a lot of times.
And with a
click,
followed by a
fwash.
The whole hyena tribe is gone. No mess, no fuss, and best of all, no violence.
Bentley did kick a guy square in the rounds.
Okay, only with a little bit of violence.
One tiny little question. Where'd they go?
Oh, easy. Onome sent them to the Normal Age Training Hall.
Oh, that is not going to end well for that tribe.
Later, the troop of tots are heading back to the capital, and there's just one piece of business that needs to be handled. Val tells Onome not to waste her breath asking to join the Super Brain team.
Wow, Val, that's super rude. Onome is wicked smart and is in the age bracket of the rest of the kids. Why won't you let her ask to join?
There's no need to ask to join because Val has already started the application process for her.
Welcome to the club, Onome. They do have jackets.
And they are smashing.
Speaking of smashing, let's smash this issue. And look at the themes of this issue. Starting with the cover credits, we have Hickman, Walter, Peter, FF. And we have Val and Frank in camo gear, shorts.
Oh, it's not camo gear. It is your typical European Northman explorer outfit of a pith helmet and your taupe dungaree kind of things. It is your classic going on an African safari.
Right out of Banana Republic.
It's insulting is what it is. It's so typical.
Yes. They are riding on the back of a rhino, and there's another rhino in front and behind them off to the sides. They're both riding on the same one, Val in the front. She's drinking from a squeezed juice packet, and Franklin is looking on a PDA of some sort, kind of like looking something up.
It's a 3DS. It's a Nintendo 3DS is probably what it is.
Maybe.
He's got a gamepad.
I like, though, is that you see that Val has like a boo-boo on her knee. She's got a Band-Aid on it.
She does. She has a cute little Band-Aid. Yeah. That's true.
And in the background, we got it's the savannah. It's like you got a couple of scraggly trees and you've got some dust coming up from the ground where these rhinos are walking on. This is classic from Mike Choi with Guru FX art. This is clean. This is precise, and it is gorgeous.
It is. It's real pretty. It's great.
It tells us what we want. What is this issue called? Safari. It's got the FF kids on Safari.
Yep.
Love it.
Yep.
Chef's kiss.
This scene didn't quite happen, but it's very reminiscent of the scene that did occur.
Yeah.
There were rhinos. There was an elephant. There were zebras.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. I love it.
It's great. It is another great cover. It is really good looking. I do like it a lot as well.
Hey, guess what, Jeff? You know what the Future Foundation needs? Do you know what they need?
More kids.
More kids. They need another smarty pants kid.
They definitely need one to get lost in the shuffle because they've just plumbed the depths of the character development on all these other children.
I like this character. I like Onami. I think she's kind of cool. I like the fact that she comes from a Wakanda tribe. It's once again what we've seen Reed do, where you kind of almost think, oh, she comes from a tribe. She's just their guide. She's going to be a local girl. This is what she knows. But she knows math and reprogramming and technology at a Wakandan level, which is light years ahead of most other people. So she's smart.
She's wicked smart.
Wicked smart. Wicked smart. Because everybody knows that we're from Portland. Not from the New England, Maine, Portland near Boston.
We're from Boston, Oregon.
But we're close to Boston, Oregon.
Boston, yeah. Portland is right next to Boston, Beantown, the old bean, which is why we're saying that. Also, just because it's funny.
Could have been Boston. A coin flip. Could have been Boston or Portland.
Yep, good old Stumpy.
All right, so we got a new kid, wicked smart. She's pretty cool, Oname. Mm-hmm. Nice introduction for her. It's a simple little story. It's a fun little introduction of her. I don't know what to say about her.
She's the local guide. She's Wakandan smart. Her father was the engineer that was tasked with moving this natural resource that was located miles inside of Wakanda that the Wakandans said, it's like, hey, you know what? If we move this to the corner of 4 of our nations, then we all have a say in this, and we're not the only people with this good water supply. It's very equal footing for everybody. It's an amazing piece of engineering that they did to literally move the landscape, but to still have it be the natural thing that it was. So she comes from good stock for the smarts.
It's a nice contained story with what this is. I like the fact that this is a nice piece to go with what we've been reading over in the Fantastic Four. Big, epic battle with Shuri and T'Challa having to battle couple of different entity gods that are coming into the legacy of the Wakandan people and Black Panther. And what do the kids do? They go on a little safari ride with a local girl, and they take care of the hijacking of a very important water supply.
Yeah.
Bravo, cool, fun, and just goofy.
It was a concise, simple little story that was quite a little bit of fun. It was Quantum of Solace levels of what was going on. It was like, we're going to steal their water. Okay, that happens. And then you stop them. Perfect. Good job. Yeah. Good job, kids.
Bravo, bravo.
It introduced a new character, and it tied up a introduced storyline very quickly. It was great.
Yeah. All good in the hood. Now, we'll probably get into a little bit later, but Dragon Man, I mean, I get what you're doing, but can you do it better?
He could have tried to flee from them. He was drawing their attention. He could also weather what their attacks they were doing.
Right, but there's also the entire pacifism thing. It's like, you are an android. You are an amazingly high-tech piece of tech. Maybe do something to try to protect yourself?
He was protected enough just by who he is. But he could have also gone for disarming them or something along those lines. The note that they strike with Dragon Man is that he is a pacifist, which means that he is very stationary.
Yes. And he does, and his purple skin and large features do not do well to hide him in the plains of Africa.
Yeah, so great. Yeah, he's just hiding behind a tree. And it's like any of those pictures you see of like a bear hiding behind a tree, where you're like, yep, good stealth roll there, buddy. So
I'm not going to say he rolls badly on his stealth rolls. He just has a negative 50.
Yeah,
for
he
stealth.
Has a lot. Yeah, he takes it to disadvantage, and he's at negative modifiers, very much so.
Woo! All right.
He hid from everybody else in the hyena tribe except for their leader.
Well, I think everybody else in the hyena tribe was just saying that can't possibly be there.
Yeah.
It's the Douglas Adams view from the restaurant at the end of the universe, where you paint a spaceship to make it look like an Italian bistro, and because it's so ridiculous of a thing to see that when it lands somewhere, everyone's like, I can't be seeing what I think I'm seeing, so I'm not seeing it, I'm looking over here. Dragon Man hiding out in the middle of the safari, same thing. It's so ridiculous, I'm not going to believe that it exists.
I get that. Yep.
It's somebody else's problem.
My brain doesn't need to accept any of this. I'm going to move on.
I completely just regurgitated a point from a Douglas Adams book from memory on this. I am so proud of myself.
Congratulations. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Forgotten all about that part.
Any other things you want to talk about in this story?
No. Other than the fact that even if Hyena Tribe had stolen the majority of the reservoir, it would have refilled anyway, I think, so they'd have been mostly okay. So
I'm sure they had a plan to steal all of the water, so, whatever. Don't question the science of it.
They were trying to... I can question if I want. I used to have a corner about that stuff.
All right, let's go ahead and get into our Gallery of Greatness. What piece of art in this book needs to be pinned to the side of Dragon Man as he is hiding in the forest? Jeff, what is your backup joke one?
I picked this because I'm sure I'm going to see it from you as well. It's on page 19 of Marvel Unlimited, and I called it Between the Uprights.
I honestly did not choose that one.
Ooh, I am surprised. I instinctively said, I'm going to put this in because Rick's going to put it in, and I want to be there with him.
Not me this time, but I got to say it, that is good. I always like the times where Bentley is not my favorite character, but Bentley has one superpower. He can land a shot between the uprights.
Yeah, he can square those rounds really pretty good.
Pretty well. Yep. My backup one is on the third page where we have seen all of the kids come riding in, and then there's a beat, and the next panel, you see Dragon Man riding in on a poor zebra horse. Later on, you see him holding the zebra up, but the fact that there's this beat and you see Dragon Man by himself riding a zebra.
It's pretty great. Yeah, it was on my short list. And that follow-up of him carrying the zebra going, I think this poor beast needs water.
I think I broke it, is what he's saying. All right, what is your top joke one?
My top joke one is on page 12, and I call it Poke 'em with a Stick. And this is after Franklin was going to mess with the dead body of the scout, which nobody seems very worked up about. And Onome is like, no, don't, because they'll booby-trap their bodies. And that probably isn't this case because he was a scout, looks like, but don't risk it. And Bentley's like, maybe just poke him with a stick. At which point the body blows up. But it's like a kid poking a dead body with a stick. Oh, how classic.
We've all been there.
Oh, Stephen King has written so many books about this entire setup.
Hey, that was filmed here in Oregon, and that's only because every forest here, there's a dead body for us to poke sticks at.
And because it's in a forest, a lot of sticks.
Lots of sticks. My top joke one is something that we have, poked a lot with a lot of sticks already, but I'm going to say it right now. It is Dragon Man hiding behind a tree while the leader of the hyena tribe is saying, how do you not see the giant freaking dragon hiding behind the freaking tree?
It's two trees, but still, Dragon Man looks sad. He really looks sad.
I've been seen.
Yeah, he's very remorseful. He's like, I know I'm not good at hiding. I get it. You don't have to yell at me about it.
Priceless. Absolutely. And also, well placed. This is one of these things that I am so glad that they did right. In the book, it is one page where he says, I see. Well, if that's true, this is the hyena leader talking. He's talking to his subordinate, and you have to turn the page to get this reveal. It is perfect reveal. I love it when that works out well.
It's really nice. It's the top half of the page. Yeah, it is really wonderful. I like it a lot.
What do you have for some backup good art?
My backup good art is on page 18, and I call it I Think I'll Try Defying Gravity.
I called it Alex Smashing.
Hey, very nice. Yep, this is where Alex has just said, fine, I'll do it myself, and he puts on the Infinity Gauntlet. No, he just takes the gravity away of most of the hyena tribe and just puts them up in the air along with some rocks and stuff. He's just like, Lloyds. Everybody else, why does everybody suck? Here, I'll fix it.
To be fair, with the exception of Franklin, Alex is the only person on the team that has actual power.
Oh, yep, there's that. Well, Dragon Man has flight, and weather-resistant skin and fire breath, but yeah.
But we've already said he's pacifist.
But exactly, yeah. Alex is a powerhouse. We've established this many times. We do an entire podcast about him and his siblings because they're awesome. Alex is a beast. He is.
Yeah. All right, my top good art is the kids riding.
Oh, nice. I thought about that.
Yeah.
You see me riding.
It's just this great shot. They're just come riding in. Wee-hoo! And it's just them all charging in on all these animals, having a good time, having some fun. It's a great picture. It's a great fun. It is a good one. It's a continuation. It's really a continuation of kind of what we see on the cover of the book.
It was my first choice until it wasn't. So I assert that. It is a great picture, though. It is really good. My top one is on page 6, and I call it the Wakandan Reservoir, because that's what it is. Just cascading falls. It's got 3 falls. It's an awesome, jungled, stony mountain peak kind of thing with a great big lake at the base. It is just jungle around it. It is beautiful. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Good choice. Good choice. I think that is a good one, too. I think that was on some of my short lists as well. I just had to go with the animals coming in because pretty awesome.
Like I said, I originally thought that I was going to pick that. It is really nice.
All right. Let's go ahead and talk about some childish insults in a book with a bunch of kids goofing around. Honestly, there's not that many insults that are really in here. There are some, but it's
not really. Yeah, it is a quick book.
Yeah.
There's not a huge amount of stuff going on. There's not a lot of dialogue stuff. It is pretty tight.
Yeah.
I still found some.
I got a couple things that are contenders here. My backup one is Bentley kicking Val in the water. It's not so much an insult, but it is an insult. It's not a verbal insult. It's just kind of like, it's Bentley being Bentley, but it is also just, hey, push. So
it's just the play.
That was my backup one.
I like right after that, Dragonman's like, she can swim, right?
She can swim, right?
Back up and it's like, is anybody going to help me out? And Franklin jumps over her yelling, no, because everybody's going to play now. So It was a good one. Mine is on page 12, and it is Bentley poking the dead scout with a stick, and the scout explodes. Because I think if you get poked with a stick and you can explode it, the person that did it to you, hey, bravo. Good retort.
The rubber was the body. The glue was the blood.
Yeah. Although I found it disturbing that the kids were so nonplussed by a corpse, and then even less plussed about the corpse exploding all over them. They're like, oh, man.
To be fair, this is the Future Foundation. They've seen things.
Yeah, I said it. They have seen stuff, but
the last issue of this book was them going to the negative zone to hold elections with bugs that were spitting on papers.
All right.
Dead corpses in the forest, like, it's a Friday.
For you, it was the most disgusting day of your life. For me, it was a Tuesday.
Top one I've got is, going back to it, giant freaking dragon behind the giant freaking tree. And this is basically the leader of the tribe insulting his staff. Like, y'all are morons. You didn't see the giant freaking dragon there.
That's a good one. That's a good pick. I thought about it, but I didn't go that way.
What do you got?
I went on page 8 and 9. The kids are jumping in the water, and then Dragon Man's all like, hey, none of you are wearing sunscreen. Yeah, you please, children, protect your noses. And Franklin's response to that is, Leech doesn't have a nose.
Yeah. And Franklin gets kicked in the uprights. Okay, anyways.
Dragon Man takes a break from his pacifism and beats a child.
Let's talk about Parent of the Year, the Reed Richards Award for Good Parenting. And
Dragon Man.
Well, that's the obvious one.
Yeah, I went obvious.
I didn't go obvious. I went a little bit of the outside the box thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I want somebody who's not here, but we hear about, and that's Onomi's dad. He sounds like a pretty cool guy, and he raised a pretty awesome kid.
Yeah.
So he did all the work on getting this moved here. He raised a kid who is pretty self-sufficient. She's guiding the Future Foundation in the wild.
Mm-hmm.
A kid guiding some of the Future Foundation.
Yep.
They're
important kids.
They're important kids.
Yeah.
That's a lot of responsibility. And like, oh, my kid can handle it. Because she's that good.
Yeah, I like that. That's awesome. That's a great choice. That's a really good choice.
Sounds like a pretty good guy. Pretty good guy.
I like that. Like I said, I went with Dragon Man. I'm going to give him a good one. He was doing a lot of parenting stuff. He was calm with children. He was trying to be protective of them. He was worried about their sunburns. Stuff like that.
Personally, I think that he's kind of ineffective as a parent.
He's super ineffective, like so many parents are. Because, again, I've done this a lot where I go, and I point at my face, and I go, this is the face of give up. So, and that's kind of Dragon Man with parenting.
It's kind of like if Dragon Man was a parent who was trying to fix something and gave one of their kids a flashlight to hold while they fix something, and that child just took off running, and Dragon Man's like, no, don't do that. I need you here. I need you here.
Conversation. But it's true because that happened, yes.
I am just telling what about out of the blue, not connected to anything. I'm just giving an example of what that could be like. I didn't name names.
I didn't say it happened yesterday to you.
I mean, that's very mean of you. That's very mean of you to accuse me of trying to like repeat a private conversation. I wasn't trying to do that at all. Most popular and shunned. Identify the character who was the best and the worst in this issue. Apparently, I'm the worst. But you know what? My worst, and I know Jeff is going to hate this, but I don't care. Moloids.
No, same.
They talk a good game, but they don't do that much.
No, it's very true. I have them down there. I thought it was going to be a unique pull on that because they were talking about, it's like, oh, the pacifism that Dragon Man is doing, it's so problematic. Yeah, I know. Who could just sit back and watch violence happen to an innocent being without doing anything? Yeah, who could do that?
They are the worst.
It's while they're doing it.
They are the worst Greek chorus in the world.
They
the
really
worst.
Are. Yeah, so I agree. I fully agree. I put the Moloids as well. Who's your best?
I think we're going to have the same best. We got to have the same best. Onami?
Oh, she's a great choice. I went for Alex.
Oh, okay. Alex was the most effective in the fight. That is fair. That is fair.
He advanced the plot line. He found the body. He grabbed up all the people. Yeah, Onami is amazing. Him and her, both great choices.
Yeah. I can go with either one of those two. I like that. All right. We need to go ahead and do a top grade on this book. We need to put it into our ever-growing list. We're 1 through 69. So our first issue that we have is still Fantastic Four 588. Somewhere in the middle of this list, around spot number 35, we've got Avengers Academy number 37. That's where Finesse kills Jeremy and Julie punches a rocket. And we have spot number 69, Loners number 3. This is a fun little, insignificant little issue.
Yep.
It's fast, it's easy, it's simple, it's clean, it's funny. It's just adventurous enough.
Yep. The stakes weren't too high. They were high enough.
I kind of like this. I'm scrolling up here a bit here.
Okay, well, let's start with our previous issue that we covered.
I don't need to start with that. That was in the middle of the script. I'm already above the middle of the script.
Oh, wow. Okay, there you go.
I'm up in the 20s at this point in time.
Better than 24. Spot 24. Okay, then let's Well, okay, here, how about this? Not saying that this is a great spot for anything, but it's similar because in spot 17, we have Avengers Academy number 21, and I pick it because first day of school, Jocasta goes boom. We got a body explode in this one.
Nice. Fun. I think this is a little bit better.
I could agree to that, yes.
Okay, we start getting into some more meaty stuff up here. Spot number 10, we've got Avengers Academy 22. Magneto X-Men show up to help and fight Quicksilver. Okay, then right above that, we have Avengers Academy number 23, Second Chances. That's where Julie and Brandon have that really deep talk.
Oh, that's the big talk, yeah.
Yeah, that's a big talk.
That's a real
really
big talk.
Good one.
That little narrative that they had right there, that is what brought that issue up so high.
Yeah, and I agree. I agree with that, too. Wouldn't want to put it above that, but I think I'm above Avengers Academy number 22. I think this could be the new number 10.
New number 10, Magneto showing up with the X-Men to help and hinder the Avengers.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're enjoying a found family exploding a body more than just a twisted family that just fights itself. I could see that.
I could see that.
The new number 10. It was good. It was fun. It was great. It was really nice how contained a story it was as well.
Yeah. This was just so simple, so quick, so easy to read. It was fun. Fun.
Mm-hmm.
I like that in my comics.
Yeah, no, good job on that. Future Foundation number 19. Well done.
You know what else I like in my comic books?
What do you like in your comic books?
I like my comics to have a nice beer that I can pair with it.
Ooh, that is excellent. And we're lucky on that because we have a beer that we've paired with it. We have paired African Amber Ale from Mac and Jack's Brewing on this. So let's get our final thoughts on beer. How do we think it fit the comic?
When I think of going through the savannah, I've never been to Africa. I've never been through the savannah, but all the pictures I've always seen is like giant elephants going through a dusty plain, and they're like stepping on this dead grass and things, and there's this dust that's coming up in the air. And being a sufferer of allergies, I know exactly what dry dust, dry, cut, hay, and grass look and taste like. Mm-hmm. And so when I drink this, I am drinking cut. I got this strong hit of cut grass and hay that just feels like it's on the savannah. I don't know. It's weird. Again, it's not a dry beer at all, but at the same time, that's what I'm tasting.
I grew up next to a straw field. I went to school out in the Palouse area where I'd be around the wheat fields, mowed and tended and fired and everything. It is very, very, very much that. It is very much a wheat farming type of beverage. It really, really is. I think it fits really well with the issue that we covered.
And I say that, and it's a smell and a sight that I recoil at because bad allergy sufferer, but this is not unpleasant to taste. This is the kind of thing I like, and I wish that I could drink and smell and be around it without breaking out into sneezes. But I like it. It's a very nice taste. So I'm giving it a 4.5.
Ooh, impressive. I'm going to give it a good strong 4. It is a tasty beer. It is nice. It goes down well. It tastes really nice. It is a wheat field in late summer.
Yeah.
It is right at harvest time. It is really impressive on that and how it evokes that kind of analogy. So, yeah.
All right.
And that leads us to kids' perspective. And that's where Rick talks to his 13-year-old daughter, Carrie, about the issue that we just covered. So, Rick and Carrie, take it away.
Hello, Carrie.
Hello, Daddy.
You ready to talk about what the Future Foundation kids were doing?
Yep.
All right, let's talk about it then. We're talking about FF number 19, and this kind of happens during those 2 issues of Fantastic Four, right?
Yeah, while Mommy and Daddy were off fighting, they were riding wild animals.
Which one would you rather do? Would you rather go on adventure to the underworld to fight God and possibly die or, be given a new job, or would you rather ride animals?
Oh, heck no, I would ride the animals. I feel like this is like a no-brainer.
If you ride the animals, then that means that you get to find a dead body that explodes.
Yeah, but I wouldn't poke it with a stick like a dumb kid.
Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you?
Have you met me?
Yeah, that's why I'm asking the question.
Really? That's shocking. Every time we see a snake in the woods, I'm like, don't touch it, don't poke it. And you're like, how about this? Jab.
I never jab, I poke.
And I say, stop, don't leave it alone.
And the snake was in our way, and when I touched the snake, it got out of our way, okay?
I did deal with it better than Mommy did, but
Yes.
Okay, but also here's another. You shouldn't be riding animals, like wild animals. It was fun, I get it. But in reality, don't ride animals.
I would agree with you, but I think that, we could probably give the kids a pass on this one.
It's a field trip.
Who should not have been riding an animal at all?
The dragon.
Yeah, Dragon Man.
Was he even riding the animal? Wait.
Yeah.
He was?
He was riding the zebra.
Oh yeah, no wonder the poor zebra needed water.
What did you think about the entire little adventure? The meeting the tribe,
It was kind of fun. It was a small little adventure, but it was kind of fun. I enjoyed a lot of the first parts. I didn't like the body exploding. That was really gross. I had to cover my hand over a bunch of... My mind just went, no, and I just erased it out of my mind. So when I was rereading it, I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot that happened. my mind just was like, I can't handle this. So, but it was fun otherwise.
What did you think of Anomi?
She was cool.
Pretty cool?
Yeah.
No
superpowers,
smart. Just really smart.
Yeah. I mean, quite a few of the kids in the Crazy Smart Tomorrow Kids Club don't have powers. They're just pretty smart.
Yeah, but most of them have some backstory that places them outside of what we would consider normal. Yes, this kid grew up in a very advanced civilization that's on Earth, but still, for all intents and purposes, she is...
pretty normal.
Baseline human. Yeah.
Well, not everybody goes around with their evil grandfather causing evil and mischief, like, someone's name who starts with a V.
Well, yeah, Val is special. Valeria is special. She
deserved to be, kicked into the waterfall river, I feel. Or pond.
She usually does. All right. Anything else you want to talk about this issue?
Not really.
All right. Then thank you very much for your time, Carrie.
Welcome.
I love you.
Love you too.
I'm not sure what animal I'd want to ride. A zebra would probably be the easiest, but man, an elephant would be fun. But think about the rarity of riding a rhino.
Jeff, you would make a mistake and ride a rhino on its nose. And with that, I would like to shout out and recognize those listeners that take the time to write in and leave us a review. This is for episode 166, FF number 18, What Do You Call the Opposite of a Field Trip? And I'd like to start by apologizing for the terrible raw audio that I posted on that one when it went up. Made a mistake. Thankfully, I saw a note that came in from one of our listeners, and I got it fixed as soon as I saw the note the next day. So I'm sorry. So I'd like to thank Constantine for letting us know that, yes, we posted something that wasn't funny, and it's not intentional, and it was incorrect. So thank you very much, Constantine. And I'd also like to thank Al Sedano and their podcast, Resurrections, an Adam Warlock and Thanos podcast.
Hoover Jeremiah.
Jeremy Daw.
Jeremy Wiggins.
And Ranger Gord. Also like to thank those lovely, lovely listeners that sign in to Patreon and give us a couple bucks to continue doing what we're doing. And that includes adorably astonishing and amazing Andrew Burns.
Cheerfully cheeky and charming Char Logan.
Challenging cheesy and chuckling Charles Skiers.
Destructive and devastatingly delightful Damian Witter.
Dynamically dangerous and devious Doug Jones.
Intelligent, interesting, and innovative Isaac Perry.
Jesting, joking, and jovial Jeff Bollier.
Just jealous and jeweled Jeremy Daw.
Muscly, mighty, and meticulous Matthew Birdsey.
Mythical and magnificent monologuing Matthew Laserwitz.
Steely, salty, and steamy Sailor Bear Zodar.
Sad and sickeningly silly Shag Matthews.
Tyrannically terrifying and tame Tim Price.
Way wordy and wobbly Waffles. Next issue, we're going to cover FF number 20, Deus Ex Inhuman.
Be sure to check out my daughter's comic strip on our website. Just do a search for Jeff and Rick Present Tales of Tales.
And we have some merchandise available on Redbubble. Go to redbubble.com and search for Unpacking the Power of Power Pack.
Jeff and Rick Present is a bi-weekly self-produced podcast recorded in front of a live studio audience in Portland, Oregon. If you would like to interact with us through the magic of the internet, you can do so through Blue Sky at Jeff and Rick Present, our Facebook page, Jeff and Rick Present, our email address, jeffandrickpresent, all one word, @gmail.com, or at our website, jeffandrickpresent.wordpress.com. Also, our YouTube channel is at Jeff and Rick Present.
And if you would like to help support our show, we are on Patreon. You can find us at patreon.com, Jeff and Rick Present, all one word. We are also a proud supporter of the Hero Initiative, and we'll be donating 10% of our Patreon donations to this great cause. We encourage everyone to give what they can to this worthwhile organization that helps the creators who provide us with such great content. Go to heroinitiative.org to find out more.
Please rate and review us wherever you can. Tell your friends about us or share your love for us on social media.
And as always, we want to thank the powerful people in our packs.
My wife Cindy and our daughter Carrie.
My fiancée Hillary and our daughter Aurora. We love you. Until next time.
Our theme music is 80s Action by Kevin MacLeod. Also featured in this episode is Whispering Shadows. All music is found at incompetech.com and is licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 4.0 license.
Yes, and it scares the wake walking.
Rumble, rumble.
He asked the water boy, aka Spearhead, aka Lead Guard.
Hand. This thing, not that thing.
Spear hand.
Rumble, rumble.
Bentley did cure. Nah.
Rumble, rumble.
Oh, easy. Onami sent them to the Dora Mujat. How do you say that again?
Dora Milaje.
Rumble, rumble.
Wow, Val, that's super rude. Oname is wicked smart, and this is in the age of. And this isn't.
Rumble, rumble.
Yeah, I just went to New Mexico, and one of the things we did in New Mexico is we went to Four Corners, the place in the United States where there are four states that meet in one spot.
I saw that picture.
Yeah, this water supply would do wonders out there because that is a desolate piece of land that is near absolutely nothing and is hot as heck out there.
It's true. It is. I was on an airplane flight going into Phoenix, Arizona once, and this lady was looking out the window and she's like, it's so brown. Why don't they plant grass or something? It's like, because you gotta water it. Because they can, but they need water, which they're using for things like drinking. So
Rumble, rumble.
Jeff and Rick Present is a bi-weekly self-produced podcast recorded.